So I'm inside my developer org. This is how it looks. From here, I'll go to the setup, and there is an option developer console. Click on it. A window will open. You can expand it. This is what a developer console is. It is a web-based integrated console provided by Salesforce, and every organization, every Salesforce org has it. And from here, if you select file new, and there are a couple of options or couple of types of components that you can create, like Apex class, trigger, Visual Force page, Visual Force component, lightning application, lightning component. That's how you can create or use the what I say, developer console. Now let's create our first Apex program. So what I'll do, I'll select Apex class as the option. Always give a meaningful name to your Apex class. Here you have to specify it. Since we are using it for the demo purpose, and we will be putting this episode on our Long Switch Academy channel, so I generally use LSA as a prefix, that is Long Switch Academy. So the other developer will come to know that this class was developed for a demo purpose, but you can use your own names. And now I will keep it as sample Apex program. Always use this Pascal case where first letter of your class name is always capital, every word here. Like I have a 3-word name in my Apex class, sample Apex program, where S is capital, A is also capital, and program is also, yeah, sorry, P is also capital in the word program. So this kind of naming convention you should be using. Click OK, and here you go, your first Apex class is what I say, created. Now we need to test it whether it works or not. So I'll create a small static method in my class, like public static void what I say, I'll name it as sample method, and I want to return back a string instead of void. I'll use try catch. Maybe let's for now return a simple string, hello, or maybe welcome to Long Switch Academy. I just created a simple method named sample method which returns string, and I'll save it. So this is how you can easily create an Apex class, define your own methods, constructors, whatever you want to do. So this is a simple integrated environment that Salesforce allows you to quickly and easily write your Apex programs. And I suggest if you are a fresher, use this integrated environment for first couple of programs before you switch to VS Code. And now I want to test whether this class got saved or not. For running or executing your Apex program in the what I say, developer console, you have to select this option debug, open execute anonymous window, which allows you to run your Apex classes. So the syntax to run your Apex class is like I want to execute this sample method, and I have declared it as a static, so I can simply call it as class name, and I'll name it as sample method. You see it is very interactive. I just copy pasted my class name, then it automatically gave me the name of available methods. So the number of any number of methods that you have in your class will be listed here. You can choose whichever you want to call. Now this method returns a string, so I'll create a string variable named string output, and I'll store the output of this method. This is basic if you have experience with the programming, this is the basic syntax of calling an static method from a class. It follows like name of the class dot the method name, and since this method will return a value that is of type string, here you can see I created a string variable to store the output. You can name it as anything. I just gave the name output. You can also have it like output string, maybe a response, whatever it is like. But my method is going to return a value of type string. Therefore, I am having this syntax. If your method returns an integer value, it will have the integer here. If your met like method returns a double, you will have a double. If it returns a boolean, then you will have a boolean. In that, it the type of variable depends on the type of value that your method returns. Now I will have my output stored in the response. Now I want to print it just to see like what value I receive. I'm expecting welcome to Long Switch Academy. So to print the logs or to debug the logs in Apex, you have a syntax system dot debug, which will output your response in the console. And I will output from method. This is the simple syntax, and then you can concatenate your response or your variables, because here this is response variable will have my output. So in the debug, I'm just putting a static message that output from method equals, then I concatenated the variable. Now I'll select this and I click execute highlighted. So this execute highlighted button will execute my selected script like this one. And if I wish to see the logs, like I want to see the output in the logs, then I will have to choose this open logs and I'll hit execute. And here, if you see, my logs are there. I want to see the output. I can choose this debug only option, and you see this is the output. Welcome to Long Switch Academy, because that's what we had written from our method. Now let's quickly, I hope this much is clear to you. It is a pretty simple example that I demonstrated here. Uh, Similarly, you can write any Apex script and test your programs by following the same steps. Now let's see if it takes the changes. Now I just change this welcome to subscribe to Long Switch Academy now. I updated this method. I just saved it. It got saved, you see. One thing I wanted to highlight, when you make the changes, an asterisk sign appears beside the name of your class, which means your changes are not saved. Make sure before you execute your script from the anonymous window, it is saved. So I save it again. It is saving. Now it got saved. I'll go to the debug again. Here there is a typo. I'll correct it out. I'll select my script that I want to execute. Execute highlighted. It ran again. I'll debug it again, and you see that output got changed. Subscribe to Long Switch Academy now, meaning that this integrated development environment is really interactive. You can quickly modify your Apex programs, retest it until you get your desired results. So this can be a very handy tool for a fresher or beginner to practice out and grab a basic idea about Apex programming. I hope you are following along, getting value from this tutorial, and we are adding value to the wealth of your knowledge. Subscribe to Long Switch Academy if you haven't, and do let me know what you feel about this tutorial in the what I say in the comment section below. We'll try to reach out to you as soon as we can. Share it with your friends, ring that notification bell, and I hope we have like provided you some basic guidance on the Apex programming. With this, we conclude our first episode of our course, what I say, Apex programming for beginners. Stay tuned for more regular updates. In the next episode, we will talk about the other aspects of Apex programming. Once we settle down the basic concepts, and basic overview of Apex programming. We will also bring you with we'll also bring one dedicated episode on configuring and installing VS Code in your local machines, and how to develop Apex programs with what I say with VS Code. Stay tuned for exciting episodes in your way through this